Stories of Great Christians. We are bringing you transcribed from the radio studios of the Moody Bible Institute in Chicago, Chapter 5, in Beautiful Upon the Mountains, the story of John and Isobel Kuhn.
Mr. Glover doesn't understand the situation. He panicked and canceled our sailing. That's what happened. John, I think you ought to try to phone him long distance. Right now. Right away tonight. Before it's too late.
Belle, please don't try to run the China Inland Mission. Not in the middle of a war. We've got to take this all calmly.
When our ship sails tomorrow at 9 o'clock? Calmly?
Maybe this obstacle has been laid in our path. We must accept it.
All obstacles aren't from God. Glover just doesn't understand. And he was the one that gave the word to Wilcox. This war between the Japanese and the Chinese doesn't have to interfere with our work. Our ship sails tomorrow. John, God wants us back in Lisu land.
I wonder if we shouldn't ask him first.
What do you mean?
Look at me, Belle. All day we've been racing around like mad, packing, farewell service, rushing back here. Haven't we been too busy today to have anything you could call devotions? At a time like this, we ought to ask God's guidance. Then I'll call Glover in New York, if I feel led. Now, where's my Bible?
In the big trunk. Over there.
Where were we reading, Belle?
Psalms, isn't it?
Yes, the 91st.
That's right. Oh, John, what does that tell you?
A promise in the face of danger.
In the face of war.
He that dwelleth in the secret place.
In the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty.
That night in 1937, the night before the Kuhns were to return to China after their first furlough, John did put through a call to China Inland Mission Executive Wilcox, who in turn called Mr. Glover in New York. Glover said he'd reconsider after he took the time to study the facts. So John and Belle waited, and waited until 7:30 the next morning. Their ship was due to sail at 9, more than an hour's drive away.
Hello? Yes. Yes, he's right here.
Wilcox?
No, it isn't Wilcox. It's somebody else. Make it short, John. Don't tie up that line.
This is John Kuhn. Belle, pencil. That's all? Thank you. Cable from Glover. Approve.
That's all?
Do you need any more?
We better hurry. John, hurry. That boat sails at 9.
So they made the boat that day, starting back to Lisu land, bound first for Hong Kong, where they would book passage to the mainland.
Hold my hand, Kathy. We're going to follow Daddy.
I want to go back on the big boat.
We'll find another boat. That's what Daddy's doing. We have to take another boat to Haiphong.
I think the transportation office is right over there.
John, I never saw so many people in Hong Kong.
That's the war, Belle. Everything is different.
Calling Haikawa Maru passenger John Kuhn. Report to the transportation office. Passenger John Kuhn.
John, did you hear that?
If we get separated in this mob, I'll meet you there.
Hold tight to my hand, Kathy. Come on.
I don't understand it either, Belle. Read the wire. Somebody in the mission changed his mind, evidently.
But it was all settled. Kathy was going to school near us in Kunming.
Read the wire for yourself.
Missionary Grace Liddell meeting you in Hong Kong. Send daughter Catherine to Chifu Mission School with Liddell. Oh, no, John. I thought it was settled. Kathy was to go to Western China with us. Live with your sister in Kunming. Start school there?
The mission must have a reason.
They don't have a right. She's only 6, John. She's too little to go to school all the way on the other side of China.
Want to go back to your room, Bill?
John, the headquarters just seem to close in on me.
We'll walk some more.
Everything in Hong Kong seems to close in on me. She's only 6. She's gone now. I won't see her grow up. She'll grow up in Chifu. We'll be in Lisu land.
We'll walk some more.
I'm exhausted.
Think you can sleep now?
I guess I want to go back to headquarters.
It isn't far from here. We've just been walking around the square.
Do you think she'll tell them she likes pumpkin seeds? Or do you think they'll cook all American in the Chifu school? She's only 6, John.
Well, you could write them. Tell them what she likes to eat and anything else.
I could, couldn't I?
Let's go in.
She's only 6. John, how close is Chifu to the Japanese?
Belle, that's Kunming. Look, way up there.
6,000 feet, like Mount Rainier.
We'll be there soon.
If this old engine makes the climb.
It makes it every week. Say, it'll be good to see Fraser again.
I'd rather see Homei, but that'll have to wait till we get back to Lisu land. That won't be long either. It won't be long.
Just like a Britisher. Tea at 4, regardless.
I may believe in the indigenous Chinese church with all my heart, but that doesn't mean I can't continue to respect certain civilized tradition. Especially when I'm worried, don't you know?
Well, that was just an invitation to sit down and hear your troubles.
Consider yourself invited. Tea?
I'll oblige you and stay. No tea. What are you worried about?
John and Isobel Kuhn are due back from furlough on tomorrow's train.
Oh, I thought you liked him.
I do like the chap. Indeed, that's my meaning.
The wife, then?
The wife. You're quite certain you won't have a spot of tea?
No, and next time I'll bring my own coffee.
Barbarous drink.
Now, what's wrong? The Kuhn woman rather be a housewife in a suburb?
Not at all. Indeed, quite the converse. Isobel Kuhn is too dedicated.
Is that possible for a missionary?
She's had rather an intense call. Claims to have had to minister to the tribes in Lisu land.
Practically aborigines. She must be unusual.
She is. She is.
So, what's your problem?
They aren't going to Lisu land. I need an assistant. John Kuhn. I'm keeping them here.
And this unusual woman is going to protest.
I anticipate some altogether unpleasant moments before I have my new assistant.
But, Mr. Fraser, I never dreamed after our furlough we wouldn't return to Lisu land.
You haven't forgotten that you were carried out of Oak Flat Village on a stretcher with erysipelas 10 months after you went in. Quite as I had predicted.
I went back. I kept house.
With help.
Everybody has help. Played for worship services. I taught a Bible class regularly. Have you forgotten my Bible class?
My opinion is that life in Lisu land is too hard for you.
You want my husband, so you'll cage me.
Back home after the conference with Fraser, Belle sat down to pray, to find some bit of help and comfort from the Bible. And she opened the scriptures to Zephaniah 3, and she read, "The Lord thy God in the midst of thee is mighty. He will save. At that time I will bring you again, when I turn back your captivity before your eyes." Reading those words at that moment seemed like God himself speaking to her. Later, she said that night that she knew then beyond any doubt that God was promising to take her back to her beloved Lisu's once more.
Slow down your pace a trifle, Turner. I'll walk along with you. On your way to dicker for more land for your holdings.
This American won't be buying any land for a while.
I'll walk down the road with you, going to my office.
Don't you know there's a depression in my country?
So they tell me. I've enough worries of my own. I don't like this Japanese-Chinese thing, Turner. We've got a lot of mission stations up north.
Well, I don't figure China has much to worry about. Not with Chiang Kai-shek running the show.
I hope you're correct. I'd invite you in for tea.
No, thanks.
Anyway, I've got a mountain of work. I have to type a letter off to the Kuhns.
I thought he was all settled in Bonsan.
He is, just temporarily. I have to ask them to go straighten out a bit of a mess in Oak Flat Village, up with the Lisus. Church there is about to split.
Split on the stock market is good news. Well, you get to your work, I'll get to mine. Now, don't worry too much about the shape of China. Just leave it to Chiang Kai-shek.
There. Please keep firmly in mind that this temporary assignment to Lisu land is not a permanent designation. There will be no need to move all your things, but you will need enough to set up housekeeping for a few months. Sincerely yours, J.O. Fraser, Superintendent, China Inland Mission, Kunming Headquarters.
Don't take that green rug, Belle. You read Fraser's letter.
It isn't home if I don't have my green rug.
Belle, not your raincoat.
What's wrong with my raincoat?
Well, this is December. Rainy season doesn't start until May. Fraser said a few months. We'll be home in May.
There's space right here on top of the rug.
Here, I want to put these around the edges.
All those books? And it's only temporary?
Mama, I heard you were back. I tried to come sooner. Oh, Mama.
Oh, May, let me look at you. Oh, May, you've gained weight. How are you? Tell me, have you forgotten how to peel potatoes?
Potato was a friend to remind me of Mama and Mappa. And small daughter. She is not here with you?
Oh, May, Kathy's in school. There's one for missionaries in Chifu. That's on the other side of China somewhere. Here's a knife and a potato.
Ah, Mama, you read my mind. I came to work.
Then let's get started. Oh, Ho-May, it's so wonderful to be back with all you Lisu.
It was cerebral malaria. I can't believe Fraser's dead.
I thought he'd go on forever. I can't imagine China without Fraser.
He's dead.
John, what'll ever happen to the mission? What'll happen to us?
I don't know what's going to happen now to any of the missionaries in Western China. And so we conclude Chapter 5 of Beautiful Upon the Mountains, the transcribed story of John and Isobel Kuhn. This is another in the series, Stories of Great Christians, produced by the Department of Broadcasting of the Moody Bible Institute in Chicago.